What's going on, everybody? It's Scotty P with Scotty P Gaming, and today we're going to have a nice little video of a game that I've been playing a lot of recently, which is Life is Feudal MMO. It's a very in-depth, like medieval MMO, and it's super, super fun. I got in with a very large group of people about 3 weeks ago, and we've only gotten bigger and better, and it's been a just tons and tons of fun. So I would highly recommend trying it out. With that being said, we're going to go into a few things today, little tips and tricks that might help you out as a brand new player. So if you've played Life is Feudal your own, you're probably going to know most of this stuff to kind of keep your eye out, or it might be like a nice refresher if you haven't played in a couple of years or whatever. But these are kind of things that I wish I would have known about going into it because I was just excited to just start, so I did. And not that it hurt me, but it could have saved me a lot more time in what I wanted to do. So let's dive right in. We're going to start with character creation. Um, if you really, really know what you want to do with this game, it's very, very important to pick your guy and maximize your potential with him. Whenever you pick a race, that really ultimately determines how you're going to be able to play your character because the three different races that we have determine what abilities they start with. There is a little bit of customization in the beginning, but there are base stats that you will have as certain races that will really set you up for success in the future because like I said, this game is really grindy, and if for those of you who have played the game and do know, if you're trying to get to 90 slinger, you better start with the ability to have 55 right out the gate because that is the worst to level up. Absolutely dreadful. So let's just dive right into it. So when you first get the game and load it up, you have to obviously make your own character. So this is the character creation screen. Um, it's going to be pretty straightforward of what you need to do, basic MMO stuff. Um, but you really need to pay attention once you get down to the races and then all of your different skill sets. Obviously, your name, you can pick a first and last name. Um, Straightforward, easy, done. Gender, you've got your male and female, and then each one of those has four different voices that they can choose from. So it's just personal preference, whether you want to play a male, whether you want to play a female, um, and then whatever voice you want to coincide with that. Race, this is where it starts to get pretty particular. I just started with what I thought looked cool, which ended up kind of helping me in one sense, but kind of slowing me down in another. But my second character I optimized, and I'm loving it. My second character is now my main. Let's just put it that way. So you have three different races. You have the Gotlungs, the Slavards, and the Kors. Um, whether or not I'm butchering those names, it doesn't matter. But those are the three that you have to choose from. Your appearance settings, you can change the head, the facial features, hair color, body features, skin tone, add tattoos, add scars, also all personal preference type stuff. So we'll skip over that for the most part. Once you get to your attributes, this is your basic MMO style attributes with strength, agility, constitution, willpower, and intellect. Um, Now, if you put all these down to see what their base stats are. For the first race, which is the Gotlungs, everything is 12, so he's just straight down the middle, mediocre type build. You have 75 points total that you can choose to build them up in. So if you drop everything down, add all this up, you've got 60 out of 75 that you have already used that is in the game. So essentially, you have 15 points to be able to customize how you want it. If you want to add 15 more points in strength, go for it. If you want to divide it up a little bit, go for it. Or for these guys, because they are just straight down the middle, you can literally just make everything 15 and just start from there. And then just go on your way. Um, I might make another video that kind of dives into more in depth of what each of these does. It's pretty straightforward with if you're a fan of MMOs or any type of RPG really, then you're going to kind of know the basics of these. So I'm not going to really get into that now. So let's go into your crafting skills. For these guys, I'm just going to do one of these, one race at a time, go all the way down. For these, you start with Artisan 35. Your Artisan is going to be what goes into like carpentry, blacksmithing. So if you want to make armor, if you want to make weapons, if you want to make um, awesome buildings, keeps, walls, if you want to be able to maintain those, this Artisan is what you want to start focusing in. So your Artisan is a minimum of 35, and you have 60 points. If you look right here, maximum of 60. You have 60 points to choose from, but you start with 35 of them already claimed. So you have 15 more points that you can put into any other thing. For me, it's kind of weird because construction isn't a base stat. You only have the 3. So when you look at the tree, which I'll put up a picture of sometime during the video, it's just artisan, nature's lore, and hunting. You have artisan, which is your big one, nature's lore, which is your middle one, and hunting, which is a small one, because the trees themselves have more stuff in artisan and nature's lore than hunting. Um, but if you want to go ahead and get a jump start on your construction, go for it. If that's what you want to go down, if you want to be a carpenter, if you want to just make awesome walls with super cool defenses, um, go ahead, do it. That's all I can say. Uh, Basically, for a general rule of thumb for Life is Feudal is whenever you get a skill to 30, the next skill on the tree unlocks, or the next couple of skills on the tree unlocks, and they're at 0. Then you can start to build those up. But they cannot go above 29.99 until the previous skill is at 60. So once you hit 30, you can start doing other things, but it's still better for you to just go ahead and get it to 60. Just go ahead and get the grind out of the way, and each kind of tier that it goes into, the harder it is to grind. It takes a lot more to grind from 60 to 90 than it does from 0 to 30. And then once you get to 30 to 60, it's a little bit harder, and then 60 to 90, even more harder, and then 90 to 100 is just painstakingly miserable. So for these guys, you can kind of make a straight down the middle, kind of evenly attributed guy with already statted up in Artisan. And then again, you can put 15 points in any other thing that you want. If you want to get Artisan to 55, that way all you need to do is 5 more points and boom, you're at 60. Go for it. That's actually what I did for my secondary character. Um, and then, so just for rule of thumb, artisan again is more of your construction, blacksmithing, all that kind of stuff. Nature's lore is more of your farming, your cooking, your forestry, your brewing. Brewing is not a word, by the way. It's brewing. Um, but if you want to start doing some of that stuff, definitely want to look into nature's lore. Hunting is kind of a weird skill. Obviously, if you want to hunt things, go down the hunting tree. But the end game for hunting is tailoring, where you can make really awesome clothes, really awesome um, padded armor, leather armor, and I can't tell you how crazy cool it is to have a few tailors that are really high level because they help out a lot. And the grind for them is insane. So if that's what you're looking for, then that's going to be that. Let's jump into combat skills for the Gotlungs. Let's put everything back down to as far down as they'll go, just so we can see the base stats. So if you choose these guys, you're going to have 30 in cavalry, which means you're going to be able to ride a horse and beat people with long sticks with your horse. So if you want to get that to 55, so the grind to 60 is a lot less, I would suggest doing that. Personally, for me, I like just choosing one and just going as far into one as I could, because I like PvP, but I'm more of a PvE player. But when PvP things happen, like it's exciting. It makes it more exciting for me because it's less of a goal, I guess I should say. So I like playing like PvE, PvP servers where it's essentially you can just go in and do whatever you want, but if you need to fight somebody, boom, you got it. So I'm not going to be focused. We do have a military starting up with our guild, so I'm not going to join it, but I'll definitely be there to help with defense of the city if needed. So if you want to kill people on horseback, definitely go cavalry. Your militia is basically you're going to be the people inside the city gates with pitchforks and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. If you don't really like PvP, I would suggest choosing militia because if your town or if your city or if anything defensive that you need to do, militia is a good thing to have because it's a lot easier to arm people and get people armor to wear to help them survive a battle just in case. Your footman is going to be more of your sword and board, which is kind of more my style, but because I chose this guy and for my secondary character who is a blacksmith and a miner, I just went ahead and did all cav because I don't like splitting it. It's just easier for me just to choose one and stick with it. But for my first guy who is a farmer, I did sword and board, and that's really fun. That's actually a pretty easy one to level up because you can literally just hold a shield and have other people train on you, and they get points for their combat skills, and you get points for your combat skills. So it's super awesome. Your slinger are going to be your archers. And like I said earlier, slinger is just straight miserable to level up. So if you want to do archery, I would suggest doing everything in your power to get this as high as possible out the gate. Because if you can get it to 55 and just grind those last 5 to get to 60, I promise you you're going to be so glad that you did it. Your assaulter is going to be more of your two-handed. You got the big claymore. That's never really been my speed, but a lot of people love it, and that's what that's going to be. So for these guys, you're going to be already pretty static with cav, which means that once you have a minimum of 30, which you will have a minimum of 30 with this race, then you can start training your next skill in the tree. All right, so let's check out the slavers, whatever they're called. For these guys, your attributes, they're all going to be a minimum of 10, with 2 of them at 15. So you're going to start with a little bit more strength and a little bit more constitution. Um, you're still going to have 60 added up. So you still have 15 points to play with to deliver them however you want. So if you want to have someone who is a little bit more sturdy with their weapon and a little bit just more oomph to them, a little bit more meat, then this is going to be how you want to stack it. And then again, you got 15 points to throw wherever else that you want. Your crafting skills. Your base for this is Artisan 30, which is good. That means you already have Artisan, the second tier stuff for your Artisan tree unlocked and be able to use. And you start with a Nature's Lore of 5. Now, with that being said, it is a little weird that you start with just a very tiny bit of Nature's Lore, but it helps break it up a little bit. If you want to be more well-rounded in those two trees, at least it gives you something. Also, that means you can split it evenly and just go 30 and 30, which is really cool. Instead of having one at 35 and one at 25, and then just like, I wish I could just have those last points. So this can break up a little bit easier for Artisan and Nature's Lore. Nature's Lore is fairly easy. Um, it's probably the easiest one to level up because a lot of things give you Nature's Lore. Artisan's fairly easy to level up, and then hunting is there's less to do to build it up, but not to say that any of these are hard. It's just Nature's Lore has the most. I feel like personally, it's the most that I've interacted with that you can level up fairly quickly. So if you want to keep that low and build up your artisan more, or start putting stuff into construction, that's cool. Now, again, I gotta stress that your construction is a second tier of your artisan. So if this is how you stack this, that means that you still have to get your artisan to 60 before this can even be officially 30. So it looks like, man, I'm really close to already getting the next tier after construction at 30, but you won't be able to hit it until your artisan is at 60. So just keep that in mind. For these guys, their combat skills, they're going to be more pinned towards your footmen. So if you want to play a sword and board character, these guys are already stacked for that. You're already going to be able to access your tier 1 and tier 2. I guess technically it's tier 2. But then you have 15 more points to place anywhere else that you want. If you want to do sword and board and maybe some slinger, this is a good way to break this up. And then all you have to do is grind your last 5 for slinger to be able to access bows and stuff like that, which is really cool. But yeah, that's, or anything really, if you want to get your militia up, if you want to play more defensive, which is what I feel like I should have done personally with this, but it's okay. Live and learn. So these guys, your slavards, whatever they're called, they're gonna start with a little bit more stats, and your footmen, which is your sword and board. Let's go to the cores really quick. These guys are just like the last one. Everybody's at base 10 with 2 of your abilities at 15, which is your agility and your willpower. So if you want to be a little bit lighter on your feet starting out the gate and be able to basically carry a little bit more, um, these are your guys. Same thing. You got 60 already picked. You got 15 more to distribute amongst your attributes. Crafting skills. Just like the last guys, you've got 30 in your artisan and 5 in hunting. So if you want to build up your hunting a little bit better, this would be the best one to do. Getting that to 25 to get your last 5 levels is really good. So these guys would be good for tailoring and other sorts of crafting, mining, any of that sort of thing. Um, let's see. Pretty straightforward at this point. Everybody's about the same, just everybody's different picks. These are your slingers. This is the guy that you want to pick if you want to use bow and arrows, crossbows, any of that sort of stuff. These are the people you want. Because like I said before, if you can get this slinger to 55 and grind out the last 5, you will save a ton of time. Because getting slinger up is slow, 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 and tedious and painful. So if you can start these guys at 55 and just grind the last 5 in order to work on the rest of them, I promise, you're gonna love this a lot better. That's going to be it really for this one. A little quick character creation type thing. I'll go into more details in later videos, but this I just wanted to get started. So really look into what roles you want to play. Again, I'll leave the link of the wiki page in the description below, so you guys can just click on that, have quick access to look at the wiki, look at kind of the crafting skills that you want to go down. Um, there's lots of them. There's really fun things to do. Again, this is a very grindy game, and it is not a good solo game. It's not like Ark where you're just going to be able to go around and do whatever, and you can essentially be okay. This game, especially now that it's picking up, there's a lot more people on the servers. There's a lot more people that are more advanced. So if you're just starting out anyways, you're already in a deficit of not being able to compete with some of the others. There are bandits everywhere, so I would really suggest picking something that you want to do, focusing on that, and just doing it. This game is super, super, super fun, and I've really enjoyed it. Um, but if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'll get to as many of them as I can. I will be making more videos that go more in depth about the attributes, about the crafting trees, and stuff like that, so we can get that started. But that's going to be it for this one. Keep an eye out for more content. Like I said, I will be making more videos on Life is Feudal MMO because that is the game I'm obsessed with at the moment. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Share with your friends, share with your family, share all over the world because sharing is caring. And I care about you guys. And I hope you care about me. If you don't, that's cool. That's fine. Just leave it in the comment section below. Love it. Alright, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.